Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video that I call the 2 figure 8s of bowing, I will talk about how to create the best possible sound on a double bass using the own weight of the bow and by playing close to the bridge. So one of the big mistakes that a lot of us do when we try to play loud and powerful is that we start pushing the bow into the string. If you're French bow player, a lot of us start to torque our hands this way. We lift the elbow, start pushing with our shoulders. The same if you're a German bow player. It's the same. Lots of people lift their elbows and push with their thumbs, squeezing the bow into the string. And what happens then is that we actually just choke the string and the bow. We want them both to vibrate freely to create a rich sound with a lot of overtones. So the first figure 8 that I want to show is how to use the own weight of the bow as much as possible. So if you just hold the bow at the frog, let go, you'll see the tip falls down to the floor. Same thing if you hold it at the tip, frog is really heavy and falls down towards the floor. So we want to use that to help us create the best sound possible. So first thing, you want to find the balance point of the bow, and you can find it by balancing the bow on a finger. So my balance point is here. The bow doesn't fall either way. So if I'm playing close to the frog, you'll see that the tip falls down to the floor. Same now, if I pull the bow to the other side of the balance point, the frog starts to become heavy and falls down towards the floor. And that's what you want to always be aware of and use while you're playing. To further demonstrate, I'll show a little exercise using my finger, and my finger in this case represents the string, and we always want to pull and push the string sideways, not down. So if I'm out here at the tip and I want to make my finger move either way, if my bow is straight like this, basically all I can do to move it is to push down. But if I lift the frog up, you'll see, and you can feel if you try it for yourself, that automatically the bow pushes my finger to the right. So without doing much, I just lift, and the fact that the tip wants to go into the middle is pushing my finger to the side. Same thing here at the frog. If I want to, let's say, do a down bow at the frog, you feel that the tip is really heavy down here, so you can use that by, if you only pull sideways, you'll feel how heavy the tip is, and when the tip starts going up, it is pushing my finger sideways. So if you just keep the bow straight like this, all you can do is basically push your finger down to move it anywhere. But if you pull the bow sideways, your finger, and let the tip go up, you'll feel how it push your finger sideways. Same thing if you want to start doing up bow at the frog. If you start with the tip up, you'll feel how heavy that is, and you can push. If you just start from this side and let the tip drop down, you'll feel how heavy that is against your finger. It will help you push your finger sideways. That means if you don't just pull and push the bow straight across the string, but forming it in a figure 8 shape as you pull and push the bow. You will always use the weight of the bow to create the sound. So starting on a down bow, and I will demonstrate in the G string because it's easier to see on that string. So starting on a down bow on the G string, you want to have the tip as low as possible. So don't start up here, let it drop, and then push and lift. Now again, scoop, let the frog fall down and let the tip fall. If you're only pulling the bow straight, the only way for you to maintain a good contact with the string is to start pushing with your fingers down into the string. So, but that chokes the string and it creates this like nasal and choked sound. While if you just use the weight of the tip going inwards by lifting the frog as you're closing in on the tip, you don't have to squeeze. Okay, so starting a down bow close to the frog, you want the tip to be as low as possible, and then without pushing down, just want to pull the bow sideways and let the weight of the tip going up push the string sideways, and let the weight of the frog pull the bow down, using the weight of the tip again pushing into the string, and as you're closing in on the tip you need to lift the frog again to use the weight of the tip going this way to push the string sideways. So when you are out here and you need to do an up bow to go back to the frog, you want to do a little scoop, a little circle like that, a little half circle as you start, to further use the weight of the tip and the weight of the frog going down to pull and push the string sideways. So a little half circle scoop, and then let the frog fall down, tip go up, and now you'll feel how much weight is being put on the string by the tip itself. And as you're closing in on the frog, let the tip drop and do the work for you, and you're back where you started. So let's take a look at it again. Low tip, high frog, start your down bow, lift, half circle scoop, let the frog fall, and let the tip fall, and you're back at square one. Now seeing it from this way, you will see that you're shaping a figure 8 in the air. That's why I call it the figure 8. So try it on all of the strings but on the D and A string you'll notice that you cannot lift the frog and tip as much as on the G string, because there are other strings in the way and you'll start hit the other strings, but the principle is the same. Now on the E string it's like the G string, but opposite. You have a lot of space this way, not so much that way, but still try to keep the tip as low as possible without hitting the A string, and then let the frog drop, lift, scoop, hit the tip soon. If you're a French bow player, at least you can practice this by not using your first finger or your index finger in your bow hand. You can just lift it up in the air and then that way you can't use it to push into the string. You're gonna have to lift the frog instead. And you'll notice that this you do need your index finger a little bit, but you'll compensate for it by lifting the frog, so you won't choke the string anymore. The next figure 8 shape that I want to show you will help you keep the bow close to the bridge. Now if you start a down bow close to the frog and you let the tip kind of fall down like this time not that way but closer to the bridge, and then you pull, you'll notice that the bow moves automatically towards the bridge. If you do the same thing but instead with an up bow and you let the frog go down like this way, you'll notice the same thing happens. The bow travels towards the bridge. Now you absolutely don't want your bow to travel like this across the string, because you will get a really bad sound. But you want to use it to keep the bow close to the bridge. So you want to control the bow and keep it from moving closer towards the fingerboard and keep it there. So what you do is, if you start a down bow, you find a sweet spot as close to the bridge as you can without creating a ponticello sound. You start your down bow and you start with the tip slightly drop towards the bridge. Keep it there. Your bow won't go anywhere, it will stay close to the bridge. So once more time. So if you don't overdo it, this will be enough just to maintain the bow close to the bridge. Now you want to do the up bow. You need to instead push the frog down and let the tip point up. That will keep the bow close to the bridge. So by pulling and pushing the bow in a figure 8 shape this way, you will always make sure that your bow isn't traveling up towards the fingerboard. You will keep it there, so it looks like this. down bow, closing into the tip, you start pushing the frog down so that when you start the up bow, you're already pointing the tip this way, and you go up, and as you're closing in on the frog, you let the tip drop this way so that when you turn around, the tip is pointing the other way. And while doing this, you're of course also at the same time doing the other figure eight, lifting and dropping the frog as you go. Thanks for watching, and if you think this is helpful, please hit like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or whatever, please leave a comment down below, and I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. Alright, thank you, take care, and I'll see you later.